Okay. Okay. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Please remain standing for a moment to honor the soldiers who have fought so we can have a meeting like this evening. And for the first responders, to keep us safe while we move.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Janice Kisty, Jackson Township Clerk. Welcome to the regularly scheduled Jackson Township Council meeting of November 23rd, 2021. We'll begin with a roll call. Councilman Borelli?
Here.
Councilman Chisholm?
Here.
Councilman Sawicki?
Here.
Council Vice President Fleming?
Here.
Council President Kern?
Here.
And also present this evening is our attorney, Gregory McGuckin, and our business administrator, Terrence Wall. Thank you. As clerk of this meeting, I publicly announce that in compliance with the provisions of the Open Public Meetings Act, adequate notice of this meeting has been advertised in the manner prescribed by law, and this statement shall be entered into the minutes of the meeting. We'll begin with opening comments from the Township Council. Councilman Borelli.
First, our thoughts and prayers are with the families of the victims of the horrible and senseless tragedy that happened in Waukesha, Wisconsin on Sunday. From Jackson to Waukesha, we pray for healing for their city and express a big thank you to their brave first responders. I want to wish our fellow residents a most happy and enjoyable Thanksgiving. I'm very thankful for the honor and opportunity to serve Jackson in this capacity and to serve alongside up here with such talented and dedicated township officials. On Thanksgiving Day, please watch your own state champion Jackson Liberty High School Marching Band on Channel 6 ABC as they perform in the Philadelphia Thanksgiving Parade. Also, there are a couple of holiday events coming up in our town I encourage residents to attend. A menorah lighting will be held outside of our town hall on Wednesday, December 1st at 4:30 p.m., and a Christmas tree lighting will be held outside of town hall here on Saturday, December 4th at 4:30 p.m. Thank you.
Thank you. Councilman Chisholm.
Thank you. Good evening. First, I want to correct a misspeak that I had last meeting when we were talking right before Veterans Day and Armistice Day. I got a little carried away with my 11s. It was the 11th hour on the 11th day of the 11th month. However, mathematically in my head, I went to the 11th year. It was 1918. It was only 103, not 110 years. And that, kids, is why your math teacher always wanted you to show your work. That's it. So make sure you show your work. So I did have to correct that. I don't want to be wrong about either my history or my math. Secondly, I'd like to thank our folks over at the Cassville Volunteer Fire Company and their compatriots over in Millstone. You may have seen the videos of the horse running around over at the Jackson Outlet Mall, and they did a great job of rescuing Diesel the horse from a mud pit, and luckily the horse was not really injured and didn't have to be put down. So that is why Councilman Fleming and myself and others here are always encouraging others to get involved and take an active role in volunteering. Those are the great things we can see happen. Also, I'm not going to read the whole thing just because I don't want to go on, but I'd like to read part of our first proclamation from Thanksgiving Day from George Washington, as it's always a great thing to see. So part of that reads as so: whereas it is the duty of all nations to acknowledge the providence of Almighty God, to obey His will, to be grateful for His benefits, and humbly to implore His protection and favor. And whereas both houses of Congress have, by their joint committee, requested me to recommend to the people of the United States a day of public thanksgiving and prayer to be observed by acknowledging with grateful hearts the many signal favors of Almighty God, especially by affording them an opportunity peaceably to establish a form of government for their safety and happiness. Now, therefore, I do recommend and assign Thursday, the 26th day of November next, to be devoted by the people of these states to the service of that great and glorious being who is the beneficent author of all good that was, that is, or that will be, that we may then all unite in rendering unto him our sincere thanks and humble thanks for his kind care and protection to the people of this country. So on Thursday, not the 26th this year, please do give thanks and just be thankful for all the great things we have to offer here in America. So God bless you all. May you and your families have a safe, happy, and healthy Thanksgiving.
Thank you. Councilman Sawicki?
Thank you, Ms. Kiske. Good evening, everybody. Two resolutions I just wanted to bring to everyone's attention tonight. The first is 404R21. I want to thank Council Vice President Marty Fleming, who is on the Ocean County Land Trust Board, and certainly represents all in Ocean County, but always ensures that he's representing Jackson on that board. With that resolution, we're preserving 8.5 acres of land through the Ocean County Land Trust, so it doesn't even come out of the town fund, so it's great to see that. The other thing I wanted to point out was Resolution 407R21. I'd encourage all residents to read it word for word. There's a lot of good information in there, and I think when you read it, you'll understand why this council supports the resolution. But I did want to read a small portion of it that I think really drives home the whole point. Whereas the public school system should be one where parents have input into the curriculum which is taught to their children in a public school, and parents should have the right to review such instructional materials at any time. And in a democracy such as that which exists in this country, education is best accomplished through the teaching of students how to think rather than telling them what they should think. And indoctrination of political views has led to catastrophic results throughout world history. I just add to that, our history should be embraced and we should learn from it. It shouldn't be rewritten. I'm the son of a teacher, I'm married to a teacher, and I'm around a lot of teachers. And they don't want the curriculum that's being forced upon them by the state. And I would encourage all parents to raise their voices around that, and I'm glad to see the council supporting this resolution. Other than that, thanks for everybody that's come out tonight, and happy Thanksgiving.
Thank you. Council Vice President Fleming?
Thank you. Again, happy Thanksgiving to everybody, and welcome for those of you who did show up tonight. I'd like to point out Ordinance 2821 about our emergency medical services to protect our emergency vehicles and keep them helping our residents for emergencies as opposed to corporations. It's a good ordinance for our town, and I appreciate everybody's backing on this. Second point, I'm always about volunteers. I'm always pestering everybody about volunteering. We did have a fundraiser the other night. We have a young lady in town with some medical issues, and a bunch of her friends got together and volunteered and got several of our civic organizations together. And together, those organizations raised about $50,000 for this lady. This tells you what volunteerism can do, and you'll know why I'm never going to stop pestering you about it. On another note, similar to that, we had a structure fire last night, just before the holidays. They're never good. They always seem worse now. But there was a total loss in the house. And I know there's been funds being set up now to help this family. Just keep looking for them on Facebook. I know they're being set up. And be generous and see if we can get this family back on its feet. Again, thanks for coming out tonight, and have a good Thanksgiving.
Thank you. Council President Kern?
Thank you, Madam Clerk. The first thing I'd like to speak about is I would like to thank all of the organizations last week that came out and participated in the Jackson cleanup event. As you drove around last weekend, you may have seen some groups of people on the side of the road with vests, picking up trash, picking up garbage, cleaning out the edges of the roadways and intersections and lots of different places, and it really made a difference. When we do the bills later, I have to say that twice a year, these are the bills that I'm happiest to pay, because all these entities came out for a $500 donation to their team or their charity, and it really makes an impact in the beauty, and it really shows how many people absolutely care and love our township. I'd also like to say, please have a happy, safe Thanksgiving on Saturday. Please shop locally in small businesses on that Small Business Saturday and shopping local. If, as many people got upset when they closed, the last thing that closed was the Wawa on Manhattan Street. People get upset when a place closes down. If you don't patronize it, then you can't be upset when it's closed. If you patronize it, then it won't close, it'll succeed. Please, when you're looking to purchase your items for Christmas, for the holidays, or for winter, whatever it may be, please consider the small local businesses first. And again, please have a happy and safe Thanksgiving. And we have the Christmas tree, the menorah lighting on December 1st, and the Christmas tree lighting on December 4th. I am also, at this point, going to let the business administrator speak. I've asked him to provide updates on a number of items throughout the town, and I'll give him the time that he needs.
Thank
Mr.
you.
Wall?
Yes, thank you, Council President. There are several items I was asked to give an update. One was the scheduled interconnection date of a solar project in Jackson. Second item was leaf pickup, how that's proceeding. Third item was Brewer Bridge Road construction project. And the fourth item was any additional sidewalk projects that may be under consideration under capital, or the sidewalk development fund or other funding. I'll start with, well, briefly, I'll start generally in the order. The solar project that we have upcoming, that is tentatively looking to initiate commercial sales into the grid in mid-December, and lease payments would then commence. The revenue payments to the Township of Jackson would be anticipated to begin on or about January 1st of 2022, next year. You
Wow,
know,
so that's the first month of next year. And do you know how much those lease payments were?
I do not have those present.
Okay. It comes out to over $400,000 a year, so it's pretty substantial.
Certainly helpful to
Thank you.
stabilize the budget, yes. And the next item is a leaf pickup. This is progress report for the leaf pickup. It goes by zones and also ways that residents can communicate. There may be some sequencing issues when they come by, the leaves haven't all come down, or you need a pickup, and different options that the residents may have. By way of update, the Department of Public Works provides curbside leaf collection for the residents of Jackson Township, of course. Currently, Zone 6 was from November 8th to November 12th. That's completed, but we'll revisit since leaves were not completely down yet, so they'll be circling back there. Zone 5 also has been completed, and again, they will revisit since all leaves were not down at that time. Zone 3 right now is in progress. Zone 4 is scheduled from November 29th to December 3rd. Again, Zone 4, November 29th to December 3rd. And by the way, this is all on the website as well. Zone 1, December 6th through December 10th. Zone 2, December 13th through December 17th. Zone 7, December 20th through December 23rd. And Zone 8, obviously these dates are approximate, December 27th through December 30th. They will be revisiting all zones again once the initial scheduled pickup is complete. The department is running currently 3 crews. Each crew consists of 3 Department of Public Works staff. On November 29th, 5 additional seasonal hires will be added to the crews to aid in the leaf collection process. Updated progress reports are posted to the Township website and also on social media to keep residents informed on the collection process. So feel free to obviously to continue to look at that at your convenience. The office also maintains a list of all calls coming in regarding concerns and areas that require additional pickups. Leaf collection is not a perfect process. You have weather events and other different items, including holiday related disruptions or staffing items from time to time. They are also advised residents can also dump their leaves at the compost site if they wish to, since this is also a designated facility for leaf and brush. So if you wish to do that, you can also avail yourselves of the compost site.
On Freehold Road, correct?
Yes. The goal is to have the town cleaned up. Is it?
On Jackson Mills Road.
Jackson Mills Road, correction. However, it's weather dependent and depending on, these dates are approximate. The short story is we want to demonstrably increase the level of service relief collection from last year related to weather events and other issues that created a different leaf collection experience. And right now, the progress is moving along quite well. Any questions there?
Just a comment, I think you put a lot of thought into that and have substantially improved the schedule over last year. I think residents will be very happy to hear it.
Well, thank you very much. I'd like to also credit staff for helping assist in, first of all, we've been working together on putting together the program, but also to give a progress report. I'd be happy to update next month if that would be useful.
Great.
Absolutely. The other thing is, leaves have been falling the last couple of years a little bit later. So I can remember Halloweens where, I'd come home and there'd be 8 inches of leaves on my driveway, and I'd have to clean it off for Halloween just for the trick-or-treaters to come up the walkway. So, and my leaves aren't even down yet. So things have changed. Now there's less time between when the leaves hit the ground and when it starts to snow. So that's what the township's fighting against, and I thank the administrator and all the staff for all their work with that, and all the mayor's administration. Thank you.
Thank you, Council President. Next item relates to the Brewers Bridge Road construction project and related delays on that project. One question was, did the project include the gap in sidewalk from Nature Boulevard to Buckingham Drive? No, not originally. The borough design included only sidewalk work that is handicapped improvements at the intersections. Now, in following up further with that, the price for the missing 625 foot of sidewalk would be a change order over about $70,000. But that, it doesn't include, it was reviewed, just to be clear. There are, according to the engineer, major grading issues, but also several utility poles that would need to be relocated and a power line that's intertwined with large pine trees. At the time, Mako, the contractor, did not wish to give a price. It's not clear if the dynamic of them wishing to do that work because of all the related issues. We can do a deeper dive into that, but I just wanted to give you that initial update. And I brought that to the attention of the engineers. But notwithstanding those obstacles, or rather, putting aside those obstacles and the related costs for that, the grading issues, just the regular straight line cost would be for, I think it's 625 feet, would be about $70,000 approximately, as far as a change order, just to update you on that. The job itself has a delay. Delay is related to JCP&L. We've been in contact with them recently because the delays are not acceptable. The most recent inquiry by the contractor is not, well, has been answered now by JCP&L, but it ties into pole moving, and I'm just looking for the appropriate, they have work to do. They have work to do, and JCP&L is also indicating that Verizon needs to be involved in moving poles. So they're anticipating that the work would be completed a month post-pole movement that's required for the job.
And is there something that we could do to
Well,
kind of,
administratively, let JCP&L know, our representative, John Meehan, that's unacceptable, and whatever the administrative logjam is on the utility side has to be addressed. We're sending a letter to the Board of Public Utilities to complain.
fantastic.
To have for them to intercede in the issue. So I'm hopeful that that will cure itself quickly, but the delay is on the utility side, not the township side.
Thank you.
And the other item related to sidewalk projects that are scheduled or planned, we have the certain locations we're having Ernie Peters, our town planner, to review the feasibility of sidewalks. We receive requests from time to time. whether it's private, well, scratch that, township roads, or in certain cases, county roads. The county basically, even though it's a county road, they do work with the municipality to the extent Jackson Township wishes to have a county road included in a sidewalk program. I think in general, I think the county needs to look on a macro level of their overall strategy as far as sidewalks and pedestrian safety. And also, that would tie directly to their funding sources on a county roadway system as opposed to township funding sources. But we are looking, Ernie Peters is looking at a few locations, and we'll continue that dialogue.
I'd be happy to see those. One thing that did come to my attention as you were speaking, you said it's 625 feet and a cost above $70,000 in some estimate, which is over $100 a linear foot for the sidewalk and grading improvements. My question then becomes, so for people who don't understand, because the township is so rural in many areas, and also because a roadway may already be planned to be widened by the county at some point, there's often times where a project that comes in front of the planning or zoning board does not want to install the sidewalks at the time of construction. And for many reasons, they're approved, and to not install the sidewalk, the alternative is to pay into the sidewalk fund for the amount of footage. My question becomes, and this may be more for Greg, can you please research where our fees are in lieu of installing sidewalk compared to other towns, and also does that include potential things like the grading improvement and the other pieces that would normally come with installing sidewalk?
So it's not by ordinance. We have the engineer does an estimate, the planning board does an engineer's estimate, and that's the fee that the applicant has to pay. What the engineer puts in that fee, we would have to address that with the engineer. But that's the way they come before the board, and the applicant agrees to make the payment. In the resolutions, it says, in accordance with a determination to be made by the board engineer as to what that fee should be.
So,
And each project, then he goes out and measures how big the project is, how many frontage, how much footage of frontage, et cetera.
yeah, I
And then the
understand
engineer
the
makes the estimate.
calculation of the footage. I was just asking about the dollar amount per square footage.
He takes into consideration the current market rate.
So that changes over time.
That's correct.
All right, that's great. All right, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Very much appreciate those updates.
My pleasure, thank you.
Okay, Ms. Kisti.
Thank you. May I have a motion to approve executive session meeting minutes of November 9th, 2021?
So moved.
I don't know what to do after that.
What?
Nino.
Oh. Well,
Roll call,
It's
please.
not gonna happen.
it's all good. I know it had happened. Councilman Borelli,
Yes.
Councilman Chisholm, Councilman Sawicki.
Abstain?
Thank you. Council Vice President Fleming? Yes. And Council President Kern?
Yes.
Awesome. We have 5 ordinances for second reading and public hearing this evening. The first one, Ordinance 25-21 is an ordinance of the Township of Jackson, County of Ocean, State of New Jersey, amending and supplementing the Township Ordinance, Section 103-62, Schedule 18, to provide a 30-mile-per-hour speed limit for the entire length of Altone Road. We will now have the public hearing on this ordinance. If you wish to speak on this ordinance, please come to the microphone.
I think that, my name is Bill Lloyd, by the way, I'm township resident for 38 years, address 453 West Commodore Boulevard. I drive Elton Road a lot, obviously. I'm a school bus driver. And 35 is not a good speed limit for that road. There are certain sections in that road that can only go maybe 25. There's certain sections of that road that should go 45. That road is a very snaky road. It goes all the way out to the other side and out to Harmony. And it's almost self-controlling. You can't only drive there at certain speeds, and you can't drive slower than that because it just doesn't make sense. So 35 is an average speed, but it's like any other roads that we have in Jackson now where the speed limit goes from 35 to 45 to 50 to 40 for no particular reason. And it just seems like it becomes a scofflaw. And I think that that's counterproductive. So to post 35 on Altone Road, I don't know what it is now. I think is it 40?
No.
25 and 35.
45, 35.
No, 25, 35.
25, 35.
Yeah.
All right, so
In
I
different
think
sections of
35,
it.
35, 40 would be more appropriate because there's some places it's very straight. And it's very rural in most places, except for about the townhouses down the end of the street. And to put a curb on that, all right, it takes me ages to drive down Altone Road. It takes me ages. And so, I think that the speed limit was sort of 35, 40 is a good space to be in. And I would think that the road itself dictates how fast you could go, all right? So I would say that 40 would be a more appropriate. Thanks.
Thank you.
Okay. May we have your name for the record? We need to have your name on the record, and I didn't.
I stated it was Bill Lloyd, Lloyd.
Thank you very much.
Anyone else?
Seeing no one else come forth, I move to close public session.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion to approve ordinance 25-21 on second reading and advertise the notice of passage and approval in an approved newspaper as required by law.
So moved.
Roll call, please.
Councilman Borelli?
Yes.
Councilman Chisholm? Councilman Sawicki?
Yes.
Council Vice President Fleming?
Yes.
Council President Kern?
Yes.
Ordinance 26-21 is an ordinance amending Chapters 262 entitled Littering and Chapter 216 entitled Garbage, Rubbish, and Waste Materials of the Township Code of the Township of Jackson to authorize enforcement thereof by additional municipal officials. We will now have the public hearing on this ordinance. If you wish to speak on this ordinance, please come to the microphone.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion to approve ordinance 26-21 on second reading and advertise the notice of passage and approval in an approved newspaper as required by law.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Councilman Borelli?
Yes.
Councilman Chisholm? Yes. Councilman Sawicki?
Yes.
Council Vice President Fleming?
Yes.
Council President Kern?
Yes.
Ordinance 27-21 is an ordinance of the Township of Jackson, County of Ocean, State of New Jersey, establishing new Chapter 87 entitled Emergency Medical Services. We will now have the public hearing on ordinance 27-21. If you wish to speak on this ordinance, please come to the microphone.
Seeing no one come forth, I move to close public session.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion to approve ordinance 27-21 on second reading and advertise the notice of passage and approval in an approved newspaper as required by law.
So moved.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Councilman Borelli?
Yes.
Councilman Chisholm? Yes. Councilman Sawicki?
Yes.
Council Vice President Fleming?
Yes.
Council President Kern?
Yes.
Ordinance 28-21 is an ordinance of the Township of Jackson, County of Ocean, State of New Jersey, establishing Chapter 87.1 entitled Emergency Medical Services for Patient Care Facilities. We will now have the public hearing on ordinance 28-21. If you wish to speak on this ordinance, please come to the microphone.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion to approve ordinance 28-21 on second reading and advertise the notice of passage and approval in an approved newspaper as required by law.
So moved.
Roll call, please.
Councilman Borelli?
Yes.
Councilman Chisholm? Yes. Councilman Sawicki?
Yes.
Council Vice President Fleming? Yes. Council President Kern.
Yes.
Ordinance 29-21 is an ordinance of the Township of Jackson, County of Ocean, State of New Jersey, amending Chapter 162-4 of the Township Code of the Township of Jackson with respect to construction subcode fees. We will now have the public hearing on Ordinance 29-21. If you wish to speak on this ordinance, please come to the microphone.
Seeing no one come forth, move to close public session.
Second.
Roll call, please. All in favor first?
Aye.
Roll call, please.
Motion to approve Ordinance
Amen.
29-21 on second reading and advertise a notice of passage and approval in an approved newspaper as required by law.
So moved.
Second.
Now we can do the roll call.
Councilman Borelli?
Yes.
Councilman Chisholm? Yes. Councilman Sawicki?
Yes.
Council Vice President Fleming?
Yes.
Council President Kern.
Yes.
We have no ordinances for introduction tonight. Does council have any discussion on any resolution at this time? We're good?
No, ma'am. I would just like to thank the different members of council that have put together. I just want everybody to realize that these ordinances and the resolutions in particular have come from all different members of the council, and I could not appreciate it more, all of their efforts.
Thank you. We will now have public comment on any resolution. If you wish to speak on resolutions, please come to the microphone now.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Resolution 402R-21 is to authorize budget transfer resolution number 2.
Roll call, please.
Councilman Borelli?
Yes.
Councilman Chisholm? Yes. Councilman Sawicki?
Yes.
Council Vice President Fleming? Yes. Council President Kern.
Yes.
403R-21, authorize the purchase of two 2022 Ford F-150 police responders in the total amount of $80,702.62 from buyer Ford, an approved ESCNJ co-op vendor for the Jackson Township Police Department.
So moved.
Roll call, please.
Councilman Borelli?
Yes.
Councilman Chisholm? Yes. Councilman Sawicki?
Yes.
Council Vice President Fleming? Yes. Council President Kern.
Yes.
404R-21 is a resolution supporting the Ocean County Natural Lands Trust Fund Advisory Committee acquisition of Block 2401, Lot 12, and Block 502, Lot 12, which is on Progress Place in Jackson, in the Township of Jackson.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Okay, Councilman Borelli.
I want to also echo Councilman Sawicki's comments before and thank Council Vice President Fleming for your time and efforts in these valuable purchases. Yes.
Thank you. Councilman Chisholm? Yes. Councilman Sawicki?
Yes.
Council Vice President Fleming?
Yes.
And Council President Kern.
Yes.
Okay. 405R-21, authorize the purchase of equipment for various police vehicles from Elite Vehicle Solutions, an approved state contract vendor, in the amount of $149,375.81.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Councilman Borelli?
Yes.
Councilman Chisholm? Yes. Councilman Sawicki?
Yes.
Council Vice President Fleming?
Yes.
Council President Kern.
Yes.
406R-21, authorize the execution of a grant agreement between the Township of Jackson and the New Jersey Department of Environmental Protection for the project known as Resiliency Planning Ash Tree Survey, and to accept the award of $20,000 for said project.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Councilman Borelli?
Yes.
Councilman Chisholm? Yes. Councilman Sawicki?
Yes.
Council Vice President Fleming?
Yes.
And Council President Kern.
Yes.
407R-21, support legislative bill S-4166, prohibiting the teaching of critical race theory in New Jersey public schools.
So moved.
Roll call, please.
Councilman Borelli.
I'd like to mention that I'm very glad that we're advocating for this, especially for Jackson parents and kids. And I want to thank Council President Kern for getting it on tonight's agenda so we can vote on it. Yes.
Of course, thank you. Councilman Chisholm. Yes. Councilman Sawicki.
Yes.
Council Vice President Fleming. Yes. And Council President Kern.
Yes, and I'd like to say thank you to the other council members that brought this to my attention.
Okay. 408R-21, authorize release of cash bond posted by Yisrael Shan for the installation of 8 monuments for Block 14401, lots 3.14, 3.15, and 3.16, and that's located at 391 South Cooksbridge Road.
Roll call, please.
Councilman Borelli.
Yes.
Councilman Chisholm. Yes. Councilman Sawicki.
Yes.
Council Vice President Fleming. Yes. Council President Kern.
Yes.
417R-21, authorize the execution of a developer's agreement between the Township of Jackson and Cardinale and Jackson Crossing Associates 2 LLC, Block 3001, lots 2, 3, and 4.
So moved.
Roll call, please.
Councilman Borelli?
Yes.
Councilman Chisholm? Yes. Councilman Sawicki?
Yes.
Council Vice President Fleming? Yes. Council President Kern?
Yes.
418R-21, may I have a nomination to appoint a member as Zoning Board Alternate 2?
Yes, Ms. Christie, I'd like to nominate John Spalthoff, S-P-A-L-T-H-O-F-F.
Yes, thank you.
Second.
Thank you, Nino. Councilman Borelli?
Yes.
Councilman Chisholm? Yes. Councilman Sawicki?
Yes, and thank you for volunteering.
Okay. Council Vice President Fleming? Yes. Council President Kern?
Yes, and also, John, thank you very much for volunteering and staying active after the election. It really means a tremendous amount to the township, people who's dedicated enough to come out and help.
Great. May I have a motion for bills and claims?
So moved.
Roll call, please.
Councilman Borelli?
Abstain on vendor numbers DEL01, EYE01, NJS04, RUT04, and RUT14. And yes to the rest of the items on the bills and claims agenda for tonight.
Thank you. Councilman Chisholm?
Yes, abstain from BRI 18, EPW 4, WR 29, RUT 04, RUT 14,
Yeah. Councilman Sawicki?
Yes.
Council Vice President Fleming? Okay, good. And Council President Kern?
Yes, and Ms. Kisty, last meeting, we had 2 that were unable to be
Yeah.
paid. Are they included in this list?
Yes,
Or-
yes, they are.
were
RUT 04, RUT 14. But with your yes vote, that will have have a majority, and they'll be paid. So you have to vote yes, if you want to. I mean, I don't know.
I said yes first.
Oh, all right, just checking. We're good.
All right.
All right, consent agendas, 1 vote for all of these resolutions. 398R-21 is to approve Township Council meeting minutes of October 26, 2021. 399R-21, amend resolution number 74R-21, authorizing purchases and/or services from approved New Jersey Cooperative Pricing Systems for calendar year 2021. 400R-21 is to authorize tax overpayment refunds. Do I have the wrong numbers? Yeah, all right. Yep, I thought so. Can you
Here.
see, just the agenda? Just amending the, sorry. They didn't sound right, because I knew I started executive with 401. Oh, my goodness. Okay, so these 3 are, oh, I think we added a lot of them, never mind. Never mind, let me start over with the consent agenda, scratch what I said. Okay. I'm getting lazy. Starting to check out here. Okay, thank you. 409R-21, approve Township Council meeting minutes of November 9th, 2021. 410R-21, authorize the renewal of amusement games license to Six Flags Great Adventure for calendar year 2022. 411R-21, amend Resolution 072R-21, authorizing purchases and/or services from approved New Jersey state contract vendors for calendar year 2021, so as to increase the amount for Elite Vehicle Solutions from $150,000 to $200,000. 412R-21, authorize execution of a shared services agreement between the Township of Jackson and the Ocean County Prosecutor's Office for a drug recognition expert call-out program for fiscal year 2021 and 2022. 413R-21, amending foreclosure list authorized on 10/27/20 by Resolution 365R-20. 414R-21, resolution canceling fourth quarter 2021 amount on Block 4001, Lot 15, as uncollectible. 415R-21 is a resolution approving the cancellation of taxes for a 100% disabled veteran exemption on Block 4604, Lot 11. 416R-21 is to authorize tax overpayment refunds. That's better.
So moved.
Good.
Second?
I can't believe
Roll
it.
call, please.
Councilman Borelli.
Yes.
Councilman Chisholm.
That was fun, I'm gonna miss that, so yes.
Councilman Sawicki.
Abstain from 409R-21, yes to the rest.
Good, okay, thank you. Council Vice President Fleming?
Yes.
Council President Kern?
Yes.
Okay. You know what happened? I don't think I finished my work, you know, I got interrupted. There you go. This is what happens in that job, I'm telling you right now. Okay, then there's a discussion item, right? I'm going to discuss Township reorganization date and possible dates for next year. There you go. That part's good, thank you very much. So the first thing, you don't have to decide tonight, but generally, the reorganization and council meetings are generally on Tuesdays. So the first Tuesday, you have to reorganize in the first 7 days of the new year. And it has been past practice to reorganize on the first Tuesday, which would be January 4th, 2022. So it doesn't have to be that day, it's up to you guys. I do need to advertise that date at some point, not today, but in the next couple of weeks would be nice. And also to put it on our website and that kind of thing. So, and the time should be set too. It doesn't have to be 7:30, it can be earlier in case you should so choose. Are you prepared to make a decision tonight, or should I bring it up next time?
I'd like to suggest the 4th.
4th is good?
Yeah.
Is that good with
Sure.
everybody? All right.
So we would
And-
have three
I
meetings?
can't make the motion. Somebody else got to make the motion.
No,
and
you don't
second.
have to do a motion.
Oh, you don't?
I don't
Okay.
think so. No, it's not a vote. I mean, it's
All
just
right.
a consensus so that I know to move ahead
It's a
with the legal
discussion.
notice.
Thank you,
What
sir.
time?
Yeah, we did used to do those earlier.
You can. Last
So
year was
they
6
do
o'clock.
last a little while.
Pardon me?
They do last a little while.
They can, they don't have to.
So
Depends how fast the clerk.
she won't be here.
I
That's
will
why
not,
she's doing.
no, I will not be here.
Yeah.
Audience, maybe?
So,
No.
Okay,
I won't be in,
let's do,
Yeah, I miss all that fun.
I'll watch you from TV.
should we do 6 o'clock? Anybody?
Can everybody make?
Well,
No?
It's a
Marty.
very long meeting, sir. Okay. What time would you like to start? 7:30
Wait, well, like a compromise, 7?
7?
That's fine.
7 o'clock.
7's fine.
January,
It's already done, 7 o'clock.
So we would have a meeting
No,
starting
no.
at 7?
Yes.
7 o'clock.
Non-executive.
No executive.
No, there's no executive, no.
Okay.
Unless you can convene it if you
And then
decide.
and then there's another meeting on the 11th and the 25th.
The,
Okay.
right, if you, yeah,
Right,
that's
thank you.
been, so you have plenty of time for that. Okay, so reorganization for Township Council, January 4th, 2022, at 7 PM.
Sounds good.
Right, okay. I also provided you with a list of potential dates, going with the second and fourth Tuesday, same time, same place. The only thing, I looked through to make sure that there were no conflicts with any religious holidays, other holidays, national holidays, and et cetera. The only thing, you get down to November 8th is a general election. That's a second Tuesday. So council needs to look at either moving it to the 9th, which is a Wednesday, and then the, whatever it is, 22nd, or I think what we did this year, we had a problem with that, with the primary in June or something, and moved it to the 3rd and 5th Tuesdays.
I think the 3rd and 5th makes a little bit more sense, especially with the timing for the next ones would be 2 weeks later anyway,
All right,
for December. The other thing is, as you mentioned, the holidays,
right.
thank you, the 27th is the second night of Rosh Hashanah, but it'd be after sundown, so
Of what?
thank you.
Rosh Hashanah in September?
In September 27th.
We have, I have a note here, September 25th begins Rosh
That
Hashanah?
evening, right. And then it would
Okay.
end on sundown 27th, so our meeting should be fine.
That's okay, okay, good,
Thank you.
okay, perfect. And then December, 2 meetings in December, and do you want to meet the 27th, which is after Christmas? The 26th is a holiday. So you don't have to decide these like right now. What will happen is this will become a resolution for the reorganization, and that's the date that these dates will come. But it's good to know so I can have the new clerk prepare the resolution for that.
I think that we put it on and then let it come off if it's unnecessary.
Okay, so 13th and 27th
Yeah.
seems to be okay? All right, that's good. It's always good to have 2 meetings in December to close out the business of the town. I always found it fine when you
And
have
thank
too
you for
many.
going back to 2 meetings in July and August,
Of course.
like we did this year.
It makes a lot of sense because it's just, when you have that many weeks between, it becomes very cumbersome,
Right.
on everybody's part, just to absorb all the business and all of that kind of thing. So it's awesome. Okay, so we'll prepare it as discussed and leave it at 15th and 29th for November.
Great.
And see how the November
Thank you.
elections go. Well, thank you for your time. I appreciate that. We'll now commence with public comment on any topic. If you wish to speak on any topic, please come to the microphone now and identify yourself for the record.
Once again, Bill Lloyd.
Thank,
I haven't been to a council meeting since Mel Cottrell was the mayor. So it's been a while. A couple of things I wanted to bring out. First of all, I want to commend you guys for whoever did the curbing on Brewers Bridge. Did a wonderful job, hardly bothered the traffic at all. It was really terrific. Did it really quick. Whoever you used for that, use them again. Secondly, I have to apologize again because I haven't been here since Mel Cottrell. My hearing isn't that good, and I didn't hear what Mr. Wall elucidated about the leaf pickup. And my issue is that my house is in Zone 5, and the initial pickup was on November 12th. And that's kind of impossible because all the leaves are still on the tree.
Right.
And they said quite emphatically they weren't coming back again.
They're coming back,
Oh, wonderful,
period.
wonderful.
Yes.
Because last year, some clown came along and cited me for having my release up there after the time that they came by. I don't know which fellow it was, but I wasn't impressed. So I appreciate that, thank you very much. And there was one other item? No. Thank
And
you
I'm sorry,
for your
Council
time.
President. If you don't see them back, please let me know, but they're coming back. they'll be
And how will we get an idea about when that will happen?
They update the website.
It will be on the
Sir?
website.
Correct.
Wonderful.
It should be updated on the website and social media.
Wonderful.
But
So
also,
first, so it's like FIFO, first in, first back, longest out, first out. In other words, they're going to do the whole thing before they start over again,
That's right.
correct?
essentially.
Very, very good. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Anyone else?
Seeing no one else come forward, move to close public portion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye. Move to close.
All in favor?
Aye.
Have a good
Good night,
Thanksgiving,
everybody.
everyone.